Once again, I ask you, where are the woman and child?
Why are you doing this?
Very amusing. I give that one the old thumbs up!
The movie opens with a man named Smith sitting calmly on a bench, preparing to eat a carrot. Suddenly, a woman in a bright yellow coat sprints past him, pursued by a man in an old black Camaro. Smith immediately springs into action, following them into an abandoned factory. There, he stops the assailant by astonishingly driving the carrot straight through the man's head. Chaos erupts as more armed attackers appear, firing wildly. Smith retaliates with deadly precision, taking down several of them. He guides the woman to another room where she unexpectedly goes into labor and gives birth. However, their ordeal is far from over. A balding man with glasses named Hertz leads yet another wave of attackers. As Smith, the woman, and her newborn attempt to flee, tragedy strikes. The woman is killed. Smith manages to escape, clutching the baby in his arms. Smith makes a stop in a washroom where he ends up in a hand-to-hand fight with a sharply dressed hitman. He defeats the man but chooses to leave him alive. While riding on a bus, Smith improvises a small hat for the newborn by fashioning it out of his sock. Later, he leaves the baby on a rotating ride in a park, seemingly for a moment of safety, but when a bystander arrives to pick up the infant, Hertz, using a sniper rifle, fires from a distance. Acting quickly, Smith rescues the baby and flees the scene once more. Smith eventually arrives at a building that appears to be a church, but is, in fact, a brothel. Inside, he meets Donna Quintano, a lactating wet nurse and sex worker. He offers her $5,000 to care for the baby, but she firmly refuses his proposition. Meanwhile, Hertz, disturbing and cruel, inspects the deceased mother and realizes the newborn will require feeding. He decides to track down a lactating woman and eventually finds Donna. He tortures her for information on Smith, pressing her for any leads. At that moment, Smith returns. A violent confrontation ensues, and he kills Hertz's henchman, shooting Hertz in the process. Smith then makes a quick escape, commandeering a BMW. On the road, he becomes irritated with a Mercedes driver failing to signal and deliberately rams the vehicle. Unbeknownst to him, Hertz survives the earlier encounter and calls for reinforcements, sending 50 additional men to track Smith down. In the city's downtown, Smith attempts to purchase ammunition using loose change and a blood donor check as payment. Meanwhile, Donna earns some money by performing a sexual favor for a man in an alley. Smith brings Donna and the baby to his residence, a loft tucked away in an ordinary industrial building. Interestingly, the apartment's security system is rigged so that the door lock is activated by a rat. Elsewhere, Hertz drives to the same building, accompanied by 2 assistants. It's revealed that Hertz has a background as an FBI forensic behavior consultant, giving him a keen understanding of human actions and predicting how people will react in certain situations. Back in the loft, Smith improvises a diaper for the baby using newspaper and decides to name him Oliver, a nod to Oliver Twist. He and Donna quickly realize that the baby is soothed by heavy metal music playing on the TV, but cries whenever a politician appears on another channel. Their moment of calm is abruptly shattered when dozens of armed attackers storm the building. Donna narrowly escapes down a dumbwaiter while Smith, carrying Oliver, fights through a visually intense hail of bullets to make their exit. Hertz and his henchmen pursue them with dogs, but Smith cleverly distracts them using the baby's diaper as a decoy. Believing the baby has grown accustomed to heavy metal while in the womb, Smith takes him to a local metal club. Upstairs, they discover the bodies of dead men in an office, along with a photograph featuring 3 women in yellow dresses, one of whom is revealed to be Oliver's mother. Next door, Smith and Donna overhear a suited man speaking on the phone, discussing the murdered women. Investigating further, they discover a laboratory room containing a refrigerator filled with numerous biological samples, all from a single donor. Smith quickly deduces that the babies may be intended for bone marrow transplants or some other sinister purpose. After securing the baby, the trio returns to a hotel room. While waiting, Smith watches TV and has already contacted major news outlets to share the story he uncovered. Donna is visibly saddened, haunted by memories of her own child. A moment of intimacy develops between Smith and Donna, and they share a kiss and a sexual encounter. Their private moment is abruptly interrupted when a group of SWAT-style gunmen storms the room. Smith, unfazed, takes them down with precise gunfire, continuing to protect Donna as they stay together. Smith takes Donna and the baby to an armory, intending to place them inside an M24 tank for maximum safety. He arms Donna with a weapon and creates a clever distraction by spanking a woman who is scolding her child, giving Donna the chance to get safely inside the tank. Once prepared, Smith sets out for the Hammerson Gunworks. Meanwhile, Hertz meets with Hammerson, discussing a skilled British gunsmith, unaware that Smith is lurking nearby in the factory warehouse. A chaotic gunfight breaks out, during which Smith and Hertz exchange sharp verbal taunts. During the confrontation, Hertz reveals that he knows about the tragic death of Smith's wife, who was killed in a fast food restaurant. Smith then springs into action, deploying several automatic weapons that he has ingeniously rigged to fire using strings, maximizing his firepower firepower in the ensuing battle. Back at the tank, Smith explains to Donna that Hammerson is the wealthy figure orchestrating the criminal operation. While reading a newspaper, Smith spots a front-page article about Senator Rutledge and realizes that the senator is behind the scheme involving the baby. The senator's proposed firearms legislation threatens to ruin Hammerson's business, giving him a motive to manipulate events. As they move along the street, the trio is ambushed by a black SUV. Smith quickly grabs the baby and jumps into a red BMW, triggering a wild, high-speed car chase. He manages to disable the SUV, but in the chaos, the baby falls onto the road. Soon after, a black van full of armed men arrives. Smith takes them out with precise shooting. Just as tension peaks, Hertz appears in his limo and seemingly runs over the baby, but it's revealed to be a decoy, a doll outfitted with a tape recorder. Smith contacts the senator's aide, whom he previously encountered during the washroom fight, and arranges a meeting. They convene in an airport restroom before ascending to the senator's campaign charter jet. On board, Smith confronts the ailing Senator Rutledge directly. During their exchange, Smith notices small white dog hairs on the senator's pants, realizing that Rutledge has been colluding with Hammerson. Just then, Hammerson and Hertz emerge from the rear of the plane. Acting decisively, Smith takes Rutledge hostage in the plane's cargo hold. He informs the senator that his death will guarantee Congress passes the anti-gun bill, and then executes him with a shot to the head. Smith escapes the aircraft by parachute, immediately pursued by attackers. A tense mid-air gunfight ensues, with Smith using his skills to fend them off while descending safely. Back on the ground, a badly wounded Smith surveys the scene. Scattered bodies and body parts litter the area. Exhausted, he collapses inside an abandoned industrial building. When he regains consciousness, Hertz looms over him, gun in hand. Meanwhile, Donna cautiously walks past a church, keeping a low profile. Smith is dragged into a basement hideout under Hertz's control. As Hammerson watches, Hertz brutally breaks Smith's fingers, torturing him to extract the location of Donna and the baby. He reveals that the senator's plane has crashed, and their cover-up operation is in motion. At the same time, Donna boards an old green bus, simply heading wherever to stay safe. The torture escalates as Hertz raises a scalpel toward Smith's eye. In a sudden burst of strength and determination, Smith breaks free from his restraints. He swiftly kills Hertz's two henchmen and takes down Hammerson, eliminating them in one decisive strike. Smith staggers up the stairs and collapses near a fireplace, exhausted and battered. Hertz approaches to gloat, but notices that Smith has positioned his hands in front of the fire, with bullets placed between each finger and aimed at him. The heat from the flames causes the bullets to discharge, striking Hertz in the chest. Though not immediately dead, Hertz struggles to rise, only for Smith to deliver the final blow, eliminating him once and for all. With his hands heavily bandaged, Smith waits for the green bus outside the church. He boards it, blending in among a group of hippie passengers, and rides until he reaches an ice cream shop. There, Oliver, the baby, is safe, and Donna is working as a waitress. Smith greets her with a kiss, relieved that they're finally together. Their respite is short-lived. A group of scruffy, armed robbers suddenly bursts into the shop. Despite his injuries, Smith efficiently neutralizes them all. In a remarkable feat, he even uses a carrot to help fire a gun while managing his bandaged hands. If you enjoyed this recap, go ahead and hit the like button. If not, you can double-tap the dislike button just to make sure. To get the full experience, you should watch the entire movie. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more recaps like this one.